they get along pretty good together.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth, and today I will be your anchor for the Flock News. Today we have Owen with his concert t-shirt and headlines.
Hello, my name is Owen and I'm here with your headlines for this week. Nigeria's Christians become a target of genocide. According to Fox News, the religious persecution of Christians in Nigeria is leaning back and forth on genocide. Reverend Johnny Moore says, thousands have been torched, children massacred, pastors beheaded, and homes and fields set ablaze by the tens of thousands, with people being targeted for their Christian faith alone. Well, the U.S. reached the grim and completely predictable total of 250,000 COVID-19 deaths Wednesday. Over 7 months ago, on March 29th, when the nation had totaled just 2,200 deaths, Dr. Anthony Fauci gave a middle-of-the-road estimate of up to 200,000 deaths. At that time, he told CNN that a worst-case scenario of 1 to 2 million American deaths were unlikely but not impossible. For comparison, the 1918 influenza pandemic killed 675,000 Americans over the time period of March 1918 to the summer of 1919. And by the way, back then the world was wrapping up the First World War. Magic up, America. We don't need to doom ourselves to repeat history if we can just learn from it. Just this week, we have received uplifting news that there have been multiple vaccines that have passed clinical trials for COVID-19. Some will be ready for limited vaccination starting in December. As many of you know, our nation's COVID cases have increased dramatically by 20% this week. Some hope is on the way. In 2020 election news, President-elect Biden had close to a record 80 million votes. At press time, the Georgia recount had not been called, but if Biden wins that tally, he'll win the Electoral College at 306 to Trump's 232. That was the same margin President Donald Trump won by and called a landslide in 2016. At press time, the president had still not conceded the election. On Tuesday, police received a call-in of shots being fired off in Chalmers, Indiana. Then they had reports of an explosion under a vehicle at that residence. Officers then requested assistance from Indiana State Police, Explosive Ordnance Disposal, and detectives from Lafayette. Then they were called on the scene. Darren Amick, 43 years old, was located, then later charged for the explosion. Want to hear a poop joke?
No, they always stink.
Well, here's one anyways. Why did Tigger stick his head in the toilet?
You have no enthusiasm.
I don't want to be enthusiastic when reading this crap. That's not what I meant. Well, here's one anyways. Why did Tigger stick his head in the toilet? To look for poop. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha.
So funny.
Back to the headline. Sending the shite down the pipe or taking a crap is going to be more expensive. The sewer bills are rising so we can improve the system. Research shows that this is the best decision for the people of Austin. In other, more pleasant local news, Empower will hold its next meeting Monday at the Scottsburg Train Depot at 5:15 p.m. If you want more information about Empower, just ask Ella Ray, Brady Watts, Nick Henderson, or Jamaica Harmon. Back to your anchor.
Now my piece with Mr. Regal. Hi, today I will be interviewing Mr. Regal, and I will be asking him some questions. How do you feel about working for the high and middle school?
It's definitely different having to work for both schools, but I enjoy getting the chance to work with kids of different ages to try to build up when they're young and then still getting the chance to see them when they get older.
What is it like teaching advanced manufacturing?
It's something that's new, but the kids that are in there are really good and they work hard on the stuff they're supposed to be doing. So it's new for me, but it's something enjoyable to get to learn.
What is your favorite thing about teaching?
My favorite thing about teaching is the chance to work with the kids and build relationships with them and see them as they get older.
Is there a difference from teaching 2018 classes compared to your 2020 classes?
Yeah, with COVID going on this year, there's a lot different, but for the most part, it's pretty similar to what 2018 was.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Regal.
You're welcome.
The next we have Kiana with sports.
Hello Eagles, I'm Kiana here with your sports. First, we have a piece of A Girls Basketball by Kelsey, starring Mr. Jared Peterson.
Yeah, last year we lost obviously a lot of kids, graduated 4 starters, so with no summer due to the COVID, it's going to be a lot of learning experiences. So early on I think we're going to be up and down just because of a lot of learning, a lot of new kids playing new roles, but hopefully towards the end of the year we'll be clicking and kids to be improving and to get used to those roles, and we'll be a pretty good team come section.
Speaking of which, the girls' basketball team played against New Washington on Tuesday afternoon. Varsity came in clutch with a great win, but the JV lost. Get them next time, girls. Now we will see Mr. Plass's piece over archery.
My name is Nathan Riddle, and I've been coaching since last year. I started coaching the middle school, and this year I started coaching the high school as well. This year, because of COVID, tournaments and everything else is still up in the air as far as what we can do and where we can go.
What does it take to be an elite archer?
Practice. You have to have a steady hand. Try to teach them two philosophies I learned while in the Army: aim small, miss small, and slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So we give them the tools, but they have to be able to use those tools themselves in order to succeed in this program. So.
I'm Sierra Jones, and I've been in archery since 6th grade. I keep my face on the target and my aiming point, and then when I get pulled all the way back, I aim right at where I aim at, like my aiming point.
Is there a way that you feel when you're making good shots?
I'm like really happy because I know that's going to go for a higher score, and that will bring home trophies for our team. I think we're a pretty good team. We need some work, but we'll get there eventually.
And now, my piece over boys basketball, starring Mr. Randy Edwards and some of your own Eagles.
Hello, I'm Coach Randy Edwards, the head coach of the boys here at the Austin High School basketball team.
How do you think you guys will do this year?
Well, we've had a lot of people that really worked hard during conditioning. We've had some kids that really dropped a lot of weight, gotten quicker. We've gotten a little stronger. Our young kids are starting to improve, so we're looking for a much better season than what we had last year.
Do you think the boys will achieve more than last year?
I hope so. I sure do hope so. And I'm not cutting down the kids from last year. I just think that we got a better nucleus, and we got kids that were a lot deeper than we were last year.
How big of a difference is it from last year with COVID and all that?
Well, it's a big difference. Matter of fact, we had kids quarantined right now that are not in the gym, and lost another one today. And then we've had some kids that made some kind of silly, bad mistakes away from here. So we've had one young man, Mr. Colvin Ray. He blew out his knee first day of practice, so we lost him for the rest of the year. He tore his ACL. He has surgery next week. And so we're a little short-handed going into the season for sure. I have kids that won't even be able to play the first 2 games because they won't have enough practices in. But for what I have in here, the 5 that I have, they're working hard.
How do each individual of the players help the team?
Oh, we have good rebounders, we have good shooters, we have kids who can dribble the ball pretty well. We need to work on our passing. And even though we are good rebounders, we still need to work on them tremendously. But they get along pretty good together. They have pretty good attitude right now, so good things hopefully are going to happen.
And if you could say one player that has improved from last year to now, who would that player be?
I'd have to name you several because all the sophomores, Peyton Gwynn, Preston West, Caden Ritchie, all them guys have improved tremendously up above. Brenda Moser's gotten a lot stronger. Gavin Parker is a completely different player. He's lost quite a bit of weight. He's got a lot quicker, a lot stronger around the goal. So we have kids Brady Watts runs the court and plays hard. We have all different type of kids that just do a great job. Bryson Montgomery's probably our best shooter, and he's strong. And all the kids are doing well.
Thank you for your time.
Okay.
What is the biggest difference that you've seen in middle school and high school basketball?
This year it's a lot more challenging because there's a lot more kids, so you have like a lot more to prove. Like last year in 8th grade, there was a few kids, but there wasn't really a lot, so you knew you're kind of going to play, but you still had to earn your spot, but it's just a lot more harder this year.
Do you think you've improved or deproved from last year?
I'd say I improved a little bit, but last basketball season, probably after that, I didn't really touch a basketball in months. And I didn't know if I was going to play this year, but I decided to, so I'm starting to improve a lot this year.
What do you think your biggest challenge is going to be?
I'd say to get up there and play GV because I'm a freshman and I have a lot to prove.
What is your biggest achievement that you worked on from last season to now?
I worked on my jump shot all summer and it's improved a lot.
What do you think the team has improved on?
I think we're more offensively skilled and we're better as a team this year.
What do you think you guys still need to improve on?
I think we need to be a better defensive team and we need to work on rebounding.
What are your goals for this year?
To win sectional as a team, because I think we could do it. We can accomplish anything. We have a very, very skilled team.
What do you think your biggest strength is?
Our strength would have to be our offense. We run our plays right. We run our zone plays right. And if we do that, nothing could stop us.
What do you think your biggest weakness as a team is?
Defense would have to be our number one weakness. We still need to help defense. We still need to run ball side, all that. We need help. We just need to do things together as a team.
What do you think you do for this team?
What I do, I get buckets and I get boards.
How big of a difference is it from middle school ball to high school ball?
Mainly just the height and the speed everyone is. It's just a lot quicker and a lot more physical.
Which one did you like better?
Probably high school ball. It's a lot more of a challenge than middle school ball.
Do you get along with these coaches or the middle school coaches better?
8th grade year, I got along with the middle school coach, my 8th grade coach, pretty good, and I get along with all the high school coaches.
Is this year going to be more stressful or more relieving than last year?
I didn't really find any basketball really stressful because it's really just a fun sport that I like to play, but this one will probably be a little bit more stressful on the occasion. It's a higher level with more people watching.
Do you get along with these coaches or the middle school coaches better?
I did a weird blink redo it.
Now back to your anchor.
Our final piece celebrates the crunch and color of fall leaves.
That time of year thou mayest in me behold, when yellow leaves, or none, or few, do hang upon those boughs which shake against the cold. Bare ruined choirs where late the sweet birds sang. In me thou seest the twilight of such day, as after sunset fadeth in the west, which by and by black night doth take away. Death's second self that seals up all in rest. In me thou seest the glowing of such fire, that on the ashes of his youth doth lie, as the deathbed whereon it must expire, consumed with that which it was nourished by. This thou perceivest which makes thy love more strong, to love that well which thou must leave ere long.
Seniors, remember, we want to feature your senior moments on our show. Sign up on the WAHS studio door. Thank you so much for watching. Soar High, Eagles.